Bashem Yahshua Hashem Rakakudah, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I'm going to make this video super short. And the title of the video, Vocab Malone, you need to stay away from the pizzerias. And I'm not saying it as a joke. I'm not laughing. I'm dead serious. When we met, when you came up, we talking what? 19, 20, 18, 19, 20. We're talking more than 5 years ago. You wasn't like you wasn't this big. You wasn't this big. You wasn't like this. I would say you what 10, 5'10", 5'10" and a half, maybe 5'11", your height. You know, because I was a boxer, so I sized everybody up. So you got to be about 5'10", 5'11", and you were, you know, big boned, let's say. You know, when you first came on the scene, you were actually skinny. You know, I'm talking about 2016 is the big difference. You didn't gain a whole lot of weight, and I'm not snapping. It's not a joke. We've been getting on you with the last couple of years. We've been kind of throwing, you know, getting at you on that. And you even said a couple of times, I need to lose weight, or I need to cut back on the whatever you said. But look at the ham hocks. Them big fat legs. You can. When we met you, you wasn't fat, but you was kind of husky, maybe a little chubby. But you fat right now. Hey, the scriptures say this: cut out the fat. But that's from carbs. That's mostly Italian diet, which is a lot of carbs. And you invited us out to pizzas. You want to have some pizzas? And we're like, nah, we ain't eating no goddamn pizzas. Now, I have a taste for pizza, and what I do is I eat a pizza. What I do is I'll get the almond flour pizza, which is very low in carbohydrates. See, the thing that makes a person big, let's say, is carbohydrates. At the end of the day, you put in X amount of carbs, you gotta push out X amount of carbs. And that's to however many carbs you eat, you have to eat that much fiber. Because if you eat, I'm going into a lesson on diet, you know. Anyway, the trick to losing weight is this. They say calorie deficit, or I say carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, calories, and sugars, they all part of the same thought. If I buy something, I look at the carbs first, then I look at the sugar, then I look at the calories per serving, then I look at the fiber, and then I know where you get net carbs. If you eat 150 carbs of anything, and you eat 150 grams of carbs, and you eat 100 grams of fiber, guess what? You got 50 net carbs. You know, 50 net grams of carbs. So the trick to losing weight, this is how boxers, I used to box. And I knew I was an expert on cutting weight. I was an expert on cutting weight. I knew how to change my diet, and you got to time it. The main thing about boxers, man, is wrestlers, they have to make weight. When they walk around, you see these UFC fighters like Pereira, the Brazilian sensation. He was killing himself to make 185. He went up to 205. Guaranteed in between fights, he's walking around at 240, 250. Guaranteed. So, you know, the trick is, you know, however many carbs you take in, you got to eat a certain amount of fiber, so you can get net carbs. Let's say you come up with net carbs, and then the rest of that is exercising. You get out there, you walk. This is not for vocab alone. This is for anybody. You get out there and you build up 15 minutes walk or whatever. You build up maybe every other day. You build up to 45 minutes to an hour walk. Maybe you wear a rubber suit, sweatsuit, or whatever. You may like if you do that and you watch your carbs, you will lose weight. It's basic mathematics. But let's go into this. Let me see where did I have it? I think I had it up. Bear me for a minute. All right, let me do this. Bear me for a minute. Okay. This is a black. This John Henson is one of the first presidents. He was a president before Washington. He's supposed to be on the back of the $2 bill. Okay, let me see. Cortisol. Cortisol. Let me see. Test levels, face, belly, manager, definition. Let me go to definition. When you're stressed out, you need to. People that eat or do drugs because they're stressed out, they have issues when they were little kids. So let's see if this comes up. Give me a second. All right, here it is. Cortisol is a steroid hormone that helps the body respond to stress, regulate metabolism. Your metabolism is off, your body's off. You're stressed, you're too much stress, you got problems. And suppress inflammation. The adrenal glands located on top of each kidney produce cortisol. The body releases small amounts of cortisol in a circadian rhythm, and large amounts during times of stress. You get stressed out. What do you want? You want comfort food. You want a piece of cake or 2 pieces of cake. You want what is it? What was I just saying? I said a piece of cake. It was something else. A macaroni and cheese is considered comfort food, but macaroni and cheese, cakes, sugar, which is carbs, it will make you fat if you don't exercise. If you don't counter it with a fiber. Okay, let's see this. What happens when your cortisol levels are high or too high? Too much cortisol can cause some of the main symptoms of Cushing syndrome, a fatty hump between the shoulders, and a rounded face, and pink or purple stretch marks in the skin, meaning you're getting fat. Cushing syndrome also, I should look that word up, can cause high blood pressure or bone loss. Sometimes it can cause type 2 diabetes. People that are normally fat, they're either pre-diabetic or diabetic, type 2. So you got to listen to your body. So it's a matter of changing your diet and reading the labels, knowing what you're eating at what times of the day. That's why you got so many fat people in America, morbidly obese people. And you are morbidly obese, not snapping, not snapping. Let me do this. Morbidly obese definition. Morbidly obese, also known as class 3 obesity, is a chronic disease that occurs when a person has a body mass index or BMI of 40 or wow, that's fat. Body mass body 40 a 40 body BMI means 40% of your weight is fat. So if you're what is it? If you're 280 pounds, when you should, the doctor said you should be 200 pounds. That's a 40 BMI 40. Higher meaning half if you're 300 pounds, half your body is 150 pounds is fat, and you definitely got a high a BMI. It might be 35, it might be 40, maybe a little lower. It can also be diagnosed when a person has a BMI of 35 or higher and is experiencing other health conditions related to obesity. What other health conditions are related to obesity? Type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, um, heart, because if you gain that much weight, you know, you're eating a lot of you're eating a lot of carbs. So that goes into heart disease. You can catch a stroke. Okay, you are likely morbidly obese if you are more than 100 pounds over your ideal body weight or have a body mass index, a BMI of over 40. Let me look up the word morbid. Morbid definition: characterized by an unusual interest in disturbing and unpleasant subject, especially death and disease. Yeah, morbid, there's a term, mortgage. It means death note. So morbidly obese means, you can say deathly obese, meaning you keep eating and keep getting fat, you can drop dead suddenly. So let's come back to him. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Come on now. That's not what I want. Let me do this. And you're stressed because of dealing with us. You need to start messing with the Muslims, man. You start losing weight. You stress. Let me see. Where the hell? Okay, let me for a minute, y'all. We in real time, baby. I don't know what's gonna happen. Come on now. Let me X this out. Okay, is this it? Yeah, this is it. Let's look at this. So, hey, like I said, man, you know, you stress the hell out because you're dealing with us. Dealing with us, messing with us is going to be the death of you, man. You're going to wind up, catching a stroke or a heart attack or something, man. You're too goddamn big. And this goes out to you brothers out there too that are too big. A lot of you brothers are big, man. Some of you brothers are past a point of no return. You gotta do something about that, man. It's not healthy. We had certain brothers through the years. There's one particular brother out of Texas. He didn't come to the camp, and they went to check on him. He's dead. He went to sleep and never woke up. And they showed me videos of him, And the first thing I noticed, he had a big belly. He had a big protruding belly, and he was rocking back and forth, like uncomfortably rocking, And he wasn't in pain or nothing like that, but he looked a little uncomfortable standing up so long. When you got all that weight, you're carrying extra goddamn weight on you, man, that you don't need to have. And your body's not balanced. You can get back pains. Doctors say, well, you got too much weight on you. Legs, bad knees, that's weight, too much weight on you. And what that's called is when you have belly fat, which we all have. I have a pouch, a baby pouch. But I used to have an 8-pack back in the day. Oh, you should have seen me back in the day. Anyway, right now, and that's not just him. That's for anybody in America and around the world. If you got a protruding belly, the bigger the protruding belly is, the closer you are to death. That means you're insulin resistant. Let's look that up. Where am I? Insulin resistant. Insulin resistance occurs when cells in the body don't respond properly to insulin, a hormone that helps move glucose, which is carbs. Don't let them say, well, it's sugar. Carbs, calories in the form of carbs turn into sugar. Bread turns into sugar. Italian food, the Italian diet, there's a lot of carbs involved in that. That's why the Southern Italian women, they're all fat, and the men are all skinny because what they do, they work out in the field all day, and they drink wine. And wine, you know what the scriptures say about wine, right? It says a hormone that helps move glucose from the blood into the cells for energy. If you don't use that, you have a meal, you take an hour walk, you play tennis, you shoot a hoop for an hour, you be active, all right? And you won't have that problem. Because you're burning calories, which means you're burning sugars, which means you're burning, what is not cholesterol, you're burning carbohydrates or carbs. This can happen when the body is exposed to too much blood sugar over a long period of time. That's why people slowly get fat. They don't even realize until they're so fat they can't get out the house. And then come to diseases. So a fat person, somebody that's morbidly fat, extremely fat, or they're making all kind of fun of Kamala. She might commit suicide. It said, I'm sorry. What is insulin resistance? Insulin resistance happens when cells in your muscles, fat, and liver don't respond to insulin as they should, because your body's out of whack. That's why you got to take artificial insulin. It says, what do you call it? What do you call it? Synthetic insulin, which is metformin. That's what they're using now, and that's a killer. That kills you. This is also known as impaired insulin sensitivity. When you eat the proper diet, you don't get that. Insulin is essential for life and regulating, blood glucose, which is sugar. Glucose is sugar. Oh, well, I don't eat a lot of sugar, but I eat pizzas. Well, guess what? Pizzas turn into sugar. White rice turns into sugar. Candy bars turn into sugar. Cake turns into nothing but sugar. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. I didn't hit no scriptures. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. And on to the next.